dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city you know, yeah, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tuning out, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city you know, yeah, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let the truth resonate with Gerard on the mic. We're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
Whoa, now. What's happening, good people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's all right. Because we are live today. All the snow in the world can't keep us down. Everybody's like, are they really doing this in the snow? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Unfortunately, we do have to do it remotely because of the fact that the folks want us to stay off of the roadways, but that's okay. They were like, we can't be held down. We got to do it this way. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we are part of the conversation on today. Being that this is historic, when you start looking at all the people that are saying it's going to snow, we thinking flurries. That's what I was thinking. I was like, y'all don't know nothing about no snow. Y'all ain't from up north. Y'all have no idea what no snow is. Well, you know now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know now. Because it's still snowing. And in some parts of the area of the state of Louisiana, we getting blizzard snow. My EAS system just went off to notify me that we got a snow warning. I'm like, what is a snow warning? Like, stay off the streets. And I think the last one came from state troopers basically saying that the state police saying that there has been an increase in the number of folks that are getting in their cars and going driving around in it. So, let me be the first to ask, is you crazy? Is you crazy? What in the world would you want to go and drive around in this mess for? Because we got problems driving when it's not snowing. You can't drive in the rain. What would make you think that I want to go drive around with you and snow and ice? There is nothing that is that important unless you're going to the hospital. Let me rephrase that. Then you got to go to the hospital because you got to call the boss man, call the boss woman, and say, listen, Linda, listen. There's no way in the world that I can make it in, because the folks are saying stay off the streets, stay off the highways, and I don't feel comfortable driving in this. But I'm watching the news, and I'm still looking at several of the local stations here. I'm trying to figure out what would make folks think that they could drive in this weather. And you can't drive in the rain. You don't drive when it's windy outside. Hell, you barely drive or can drive when the sun coming out or when the sun going down and it's starting to get dark. This is almost like blizzard-like conditions because it's blowing the snow around. They got a whole bunch of wind. And we're at somewhere, I think Gretna, Uptown and Lakefront were probably at already somewhere between 3 to 4 inches of snow already. What would make you think that it's okay to get out there and drive? I'm just trying to figure that part out. I really am trying to figure that part out. I have no idea. None whatsoever. But stay indoors, stay warm, stay safe. Let the children go out in the yard, get them some cardboard or whatever, and let them go out there and throw some snowballs at one another, play in the snow, take some pictures, because it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's beautiful outside. But ain't nothing that you want to go driving around in. Not saying that you can't drive, but you can't drive. Not in this. Nothing to play with. All right, so what we're going to have on the show today, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to make some telephone calls and try to hear from some of our officials. You also can call in to the radio station. If it sounds like I am remote, I am remote. You too can call into the radio station. Tell us your experience with this snow. Let us know. It sounds like a lot of folks wanted to be a part of the snow and wanted to get out and see and didn't believe that it was going to happen, that it was going to snow the way that it snowed or is snowing. And I'm telling you, it's here. And it ain't done. But do you think that we're going to get, 7 to 8 inches? Lord. Because we already got the sleet. The sleet came first. Will that be another follow-up? That's the part that scares me, not the snow. It's the ice. Because later on tonight, y'all know it's already cold and freezing outside. So later on tonight, it's probably going to be frozen. And that's going to create black ice. You do not want to be anywhere around or try or to maneuver in no black ice. Well, what is black ice, Gerard? I'm glad y'all asked. Basically, what you see is when you're looking at the streets, you see where the snow has melted. And when you see where it has melted, it has become slush, or it is somewhere in the neighborhood of about, runoff or something of that sort. If it's cold enough outside, below 32 degrees, it will definitely freeze over. And when it freezes over, it becomes ice. It's clear. And it's on the street. So what you got? You got black tar, which your streets is, with a sheet of ice on it. And when your car hits that black ice, nothing you can do but hold on and pray. Because you lose all maneuverability. You lose all traction. And you might lose all bodily functions. You might. You might. So don't play with black ice, please. Unfortunately, what we're going to hear, I would say we hear it today or we'll hear it tomorrow, is that somebody got into a serious accident, could have lost their life, or got seriously injured. We don't want that. We really don't want that. So it's better just to stay home and do your thing. Stay home, play with the children, and hopefully what you do is survive another day. Folks are sending me videos on my phone because they're in denial. Heard from my daughter in Lafayette. She was like, "Man, it is. You talk about snow. We got it." So they got snow in Lafayette, and I'm thinking that we're going to get more snow. And I think they're saying the snow is going to be up until 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, will we have some sort of massive melt-off tonight or today? No. We more than likely will be shut down on tomorrow, too. We also are hearing that parts of the city, I think they're saying the Lower Ninth Ward, Venetian Niles, in that area, are having some issues with either power or water. I got to check out to see exactly what it is. But a boil water advisory is also in for Belle Chase. Flights out of Armstrong International Airport have been canceled for today. Most airlines plan to resume operations on tomorrow. Well, how come they can take off at other airports, but they can't do it here? You got to remember something. You're talking about the South, so they don't have those de-icing facilities here like they de-ice at New York and LaGuardia and all those different airports. So you're talking about planes that don't have any de-icing, and no, we do not want that to take place at all. So it has closed down the airports here all the way through Houston. But they are hoping that tomorrow they will resume operations. So if you had a flight today, I hope that you are looking around and saying, "Oh, we need to take care of this." Call your airline and see, can you get it taken care of? All right, LCMC health clinics and urgent cares, they're closed. Elective procedures are canceled all the way through Wednesday. So if you're having an elected procedure, they're not going to be doing them, okay? That's just to let you know. LCMC hospitals, they went on lockdown as of 7 p.m. yesterday. Children's Hospital, East Jefferson General Hospital, Lakeview Hospital, New Orleans East Hospital, Truro, Lakeside, UNC, and West Jeff. What does that mean? They went on lockdown. Meaning that the staff that they had that was there, they didn't go home. They stayed there. And the number of people that can come in now, I think is very minimum. All right, let's take a look at some of the road closings. Causeway, closed. It is closed. Orleans Criminal District Court, closed on tomorrow. City of New Orleans Department of Sanitation suspended citywide trash and recycling collections. That is through Wednesday. So they won't be picking up your trash or doing your recycling. They are waiting all the way through Wednesday. They will probably announce when they're going to come through and start picking up. So your trash collection will not be happening today and tomorrow. All right. And I'm talking about Orleans Parish. NOPD says do not attempt to circumvent the barricades. Doing so is not only dangerous, but also puts your safety and the safety of first responders at risk. So if they have barricades up at some of these streets, please don't try to go around them. They got them up there for a reason. They're trying to save you from putting yourself at risk. US 90B between I-10 and Chapatulas closed due to the winter weather. It's just to let you know. We got a lot of updates. We're going to be calling and talking to some folks too to see can they give us some official stuff in the districts. Interstate 10, 310, all the ramps leading to US 90 and elevated bridges are also closed in the Orleans Parish. I'm telling you, best thing for you to do is just actually stay home, turn on the heat, play with the kids in the backyard with the snow, and just listen to us or call in and talk to us. 504-582-9422 is our number. All right, Judge Seaver Bridge, Claiborne Avenue Bridge between Poland and Tennessee Street, closed due to the weather. It sounds like anything that is elevated is more than likely going to be closed. Crescent City Connection Bridge, closed in both directions. Everybody like, what? The Crescent City Connection? Yes. The bridge that connects the West Bank to the East Bank is now closed in both directions. So if you had to go across the river and you needed to use the GNO Bridge, you cannot. The Green Bridge that goes from 310 to Chalmette, closed. Letting you know, elevated expressways are going to be closed. University of Holy Cross going to extend remote operations through Thursday. Physical campus was closed, but all classes and services will continue remotely. On-campus classes and operations will resume on Friday. All right, that's just to let you know. It will resume on Friday. All right, y'all. First 20 minutes, we are giving you all the updates that we have. We'll take some of your conversations, too. So you can call in, even though we sound remotely, we are still doing the job and making sure that you have the information. So our number, 504-582-9422. We got to take our first break of the day. We will come back and have some more conversation in just a few minutes, y'all. Everybody hold tight. It is a historic day in the South, y'all. Snowing in New Orleans. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m. and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jennifer Avegno, Health Director for the City of New Orleans. It's flu season, so now's the time to roll up your sleeves and get your flu shot. Flu cases are on the rise and affect every age. From handshakes to friendly hugs to touching infected surfaces, the flu can be transmitted to anyone, anywhere. Don't let the flu sideline you from all the fun things you love about our city. Getting your flu shot is one of the easiest things you can do to protect yourself. Be flu ready, NOLA, and get your flu shot today. Visit healthyheartcpp.org to learn more.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, right back at you. That's what we do. We get right back at you. It is Tuesday, historic day here in the Crescent City. We've got snow. Everybody's like, is this New Orleans? Yes. And we didn't get no little flurries. I'm telling you that it is still going on right now. We are in the midst of a snowstorm, and even in some locations, they're calling it a snow blizzard because it is happening here. Right now, we are talking about a mix of snow, rain, and sleet with temperatures that are supporting what it is that we're predicting. It is supporting it, so it's not going away. Temperatures right now, I'm taking a look at some of the temperatures right here in our area of New Orleans. We're at 31, Laplace at 30, Gonzales at 31, Lafayette at 28. Our area of the city, they're expecting us to get somewhere between 4 to 7 inches. Up past Gonzales and Baton Rouge, 6 to 8 inches. Galliano and that area closer to the Gulf, they're thinking somewhere between 3 to 4 inches in that area. I don't know what it is. I think basically the brunt of the storm is passing through our area, which is, not good for us because we're going to get, that much snow and ice. Like, Lord, I thought I had left from up north. No. No. I was not looking forward to this. So my phone was ringing, and folks asking me, hey, man, you going to get out there in it? No. Why? I'm not going to get out there in it because of the number one thing. First of all, I've been here now, 35 years? All them days of running around in the snow and driving in the snow, living up north and driving in the snow and stuff, it's gone. I don't know how to do that no more. I done got used to the rain and sunshine. That's it. All them skills you get when you learn how to drive in the snow and all that, that's gone. That is gone, baby. That is gone. And I don't suggest to anyone that does not have the skills or learning how to maneuver in this stuff, I do not suggest that you get out and try that stuff. For all of our folks that are interested in what's open, what's not open, just for our friends that go to out in St. Bernard, if you are attending Nunez College, they will resume all of their operations on tomorrow remotely. So don't go in. They're going to do it online. So it's going to be remotely. All St. Bernard Parish schools and offices are closed through Wednesday. So not only closed today, but tomorrow as well. I think mostly everything's going to start back up on Thursday. For Lafourche Parish, all the businesses are closed, and they're having a curfew. So they don't even want anybody out. So Lafourche Parish is putting and enforcing a curfew. So if you're not a first responder, please don't do so. LA 308 between St. Hebert Street, La Rose High School, closed. So they're making sure that you understand that this is what's happening. It's closed in Lafourche. Try to keep you off of there. All right. Port Fourchon and Leeville closed. I'm going through the state now, just in case you got to go down in that way, trying to go closer to the boot. Nope, you don't want to do it. Let's see. Between Oak Street Avenue and East Street closed. I'm still in Lafourche Parish. Still in Lafourche. So if you're trying to go that way, because I was listening to someone tell me yesterday that they wanted to go to a couple of places. They were shutting down streets yesterday and last night. All right, Lafourche Public Schools and offices will be closed through Wednesday. All school-related activities also canceled. So any school-related activity that has anything to do with Lafourche Parish Schools is closed. It canceled. And those that are trying to take classes, please check with your provider because some of them will be on remote. They will be doing remote classes. Just to let you know, some of them will be doing remote classes. I'm reading at the same time, y'all. Please forgive my pause. But make sure that you call in to let us know what you're doing. Are you enjoying this stuff? Are you like, oh Lord? Plaquemine Parish schools closed through Wednesday. Letting you know. All Plaquemine Parish schools closed. I'm looking too to see if we got any more power outages because I do know we did. For St. Charles, all government buildings in St. Charles Parish Courthouse going to be closed Tuesday through Wednesday. So that's in St. Charles Parish. We try to make sure we update every parish that might be listening to take us because we got people everywhere. Riverburst Renewable Energy suspended residential trash collection Wednesday. That's in St. Charles Parish. That's just to let you know they have suspended picking up there. Yeah, I'm also looking at other places too where they're saying how much snow they're getting. We're somewhere between 3 and 4.5 inches already. Good grief. So we expected to have what? At least 3 more inches? Yes, indeed. At least 3 more inches. So today I will be calling officials, letting them give updates on their issues, letting you know what's going on, especially in Orleans Parish. We'll try to call our city councils that can give us city council personnel that can give us updates on the districts. We're I think, having a conversation with Eugene Green because Councilman Green is going to tell us what's going on with District D. Councilman, you with us?
Oh,
Did we lose him?
I called the right number. Gerard, can you hear me?
There he is.
You
How you doing,
okay,
sir?
Gerard?
Yeah,
Hey,
can you hear
Gerard,
me?
Just fine. Look, I want to emphasize, if you tell me everything that you can hear me okay, I just want to emphasize to everyone to do what they can to be very safety and minded and cautious during this time period. It looks beautiful. It's snow, but it has an effect in many ways. And one of the ways that it affects us is that it's causing accidents with people who are trying to drive around. The problem is that television media is showing people sliding down hills and on the lakefront and all, and that's nice, but they shouldn't drive to get there because it's really a problem. You can hit black ice and people are sliding into poles and things like that. We got a warning from NOLA already that the number of accidents is going up. So I want to warn everybody that it's nice snow, but it melts and there's ice sometimes under it, and to be careful. Can you hear me okay, Gerard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I do also want to emphasize to listeners, and this is District D, but just in general, I want to remind people that if your power should go out, I mean, you want to be prepared for it because, of course, ice and snow on power lines means that it's going to be heavy. Tree branches are going to fall, and you could have power outages. I hope that there are none. In fact, right now, I don't think there are many in the city. There are actually more in the suburbs right now in St. Tammany and Jefferson Parish. However, I want all of our listeners to be prepared for the possibility of that, and to recognize that you should be prepared in your home, for example, with the things that you need to be prepared for. And you know what they are. Certainly it could be a generator, but it could be also just managed use of candles or flashlights. Not candles as much as if you have a flashlight with a battery, that's good. And just keep those things in mind. There are warming centers, and this is very important, that if your power should go out or if your power is not sufficient, very honestly, sometimes that's the case with certain heat. Maybe you didn't know until you turned it on because we haven't had it on that much. There are 3 warming centers that you can go to. One is Rosenwald, which is on Earhart, uptown off Broad. One is the Cutoff Recreation Center in Algiers, and one is Joe Brown Park in New Orleans East. And just for the record, Joe Brown Park, if you have a pet, is the only place that you can go with a pet. They have sufficient facilities to cover a pet. So 3 warming centers in the city, kind of spread out. If you can get to those, if your power goes out, or if you just want to be at a place where you can get some warmth because it's not sufficient at home, Joe Brown Park, Rosenwald, and Cutoff. I want to remind everyone that you should keep a trickle of water running because the temperature may get up above 32 degrees, but it's going to go back down. Turn on the water, a little trickle of water in the faucet that's furthest away from where the water enters your house. So, for example, if it enters through a faucet that's on the side of your house, just estimate and go to the other side and go to the back, to that back bathroom, because you want to have it flowing so that everything in your house is moving along. At the end of the day, there are a lot of streets that have been cut off, and bridges, all the bridges potentially are subjected to the cold going under them. They're wet, creating black ice and having people go into the sides of it and not being able to stop when they go down. So I just want to encourage everybody that if you can avoid being on the streets right now, avoid being on the streets. We don't have the right kind of tires sometimes, and we don't have the salt that they put down in other areas, but it's important for us to recognize that as a city that has a number of waterways going through it and railroad tracks, we have a lot of overpasses, and those overpasses can freeze over. I want to encourage everyone to also get on the list to get NOLA Ready updates. You can text NOLA Ready to 77295, simple as that, or you can go online, NOLA.gov/NOLA Ready, or Department of Homeland Security. You can sign up for alerts, and they give you a lot of alerts. They even give you alerts for things like if the power is out in another area, you know about it. Transportation, the RTA is down. So again, stay at home if you can because there's no public transportation to get you there, and there's no ferry. Hopefully everybody's in place. And look, I walked outside. I'm not going to get in my car. I'm telling everybody else to not get in their car. But I walked around my neighborhood just to check things out. I can see the snow and the ice eventually being a problem on the lines, but I didn't see a lot of people driving, which was good. But interestingly enough, I saw one person driving on Mirabeau, and they were having a problem. I hope that maybe they had to go to work. It was just that important, and I can understand that if you have to get back. But even if you can shelter in place at work if you have to work, if it's at all possible, stay off the road because you just don't know where that patch of black ice is. So as far as District D is concerned, I've seen what's going on. I've walked around a lot. The snow was coming down pretty heavily. It hasn't stopped yet. But I want to encourage everybody to, during this time, if you can just be inside and relax, if there's some way to do that and you don't have to go to work, the best place to be is in your house.
Yeah. Councilman, so that is the update too that we were looking for. But I think that a lot of folks think that, of course, this is beautiful stuff that we're seeing, but I don't think they realize just how dangerous it is because, I mean, in my lifetime, since I've been here, for 35 years, I've never seen this much snow.
Well, I think that by the time they finish with the fact that this snow is coming down, this might be the most snow we've ever had. I mean, literally ever had. They keep talking about sometime in the early 1900s or something like that, but really they don't know. They didn't measure it like they measure it now. I mean, this is continually coming down, and it's snowing here and not snowing in Shreveport. So it's a very, very isolated pattern of weather, if you will. I don't know if we've had it like this before, but the bottom line is that we should assume that it's the worst, and because of that, we know that we don't have salt that we're throwing on roads in all of the places. We know that our overpasses are going to potentially be subjected to black ice as the snow melts. We know that we're in a position where we haven't experienced this type of driving before. So especially today, and then tomorrow too, Gerard, if you can stay home, if you can do things from a remote fashion, do those things. It's just a good day to relax and enjoy. And if you go outside in front of your house. You don't have to even really take a chance of going down the street and slipping and hurting yourself.
Are you surprised at the number of people that are now adventuring out? I know that. Look, I know they want the kids to be able to see what it is.
Gerard, I'm sorry. I should let you finish, but I'm gonna tell you. I want to emphasize what I said. Good gracious, they're on television with pictures of them at the lakefront. So if you're even close to there, you're saying, "Well, I want to go and have those fun pictures on the lakefront."
Because it looked like it became a party real quick.
Yeah, yes, it did. The problem is that it became a party with a number of people driving, and that's my concern.
Mm-hmm.
You can slip off the sidewalk. You can slip off the road into a sidewalk or into a utility pole very easily unless you're doing it correctly, in terms of your driving. But, at the end of the day, I think that people are going to be as careful as I'm asking them to be. But there have been, I want everybody to know that there have been a couple of additional accidents that has required NOLA Ready to alert the public to that fact. I will say that if you do have an accident, because maybe there are people coming from work, you should call 821-1111, which is or 2222. I'm sorry, I'm just not looking at it right now. I guess a little Crime Stoppers and the New Orleans Police Department have numbers that are close. But listen to just kind of what I said. At the end of the day, it's not an emergency call. It's like a 311 call. Call 311,
right?
So I can be safe on that. Emergency is 911, and you want to leave emergency to situations where people are injured. If there's no injury, then you just want to call and report it in. But right now, the police would have a tough time getting to you, and certainly a tow truck is not going to tow it away. So gather the information that you need to gather and call 311, and they'll give you additional instructions from there.
Yeah. Councilman, I appreciate everything, but I guess more so than anything else, if I have to look around and say, from being up north, what is the scary part to me about this is, will the folks here be prepared if the power goes out? I know you gave out the warming centers, but again, you're talking about people that have to travel to get there.
I know, but Gerard, I've got to tell you that even when I was in the Northeast for school, and they're prepared for it, a power line with ice on the top of it near a tree is a problem.
Yep.
And in some of our communities, we so emphasize the trees, but not only do they blow down, do branches fall off during hurricanes, they fall off during this time period when they are heavy.
Because of the weight.
So I want every person to just keep in mind to have what you need, the battery backup. If you have a generator, put it far enough away from your house to turn it on for the room that you're going to electrify or the house itself. But expect the worst. I want us to always, no matter what the emergency is, that's why we have the press conferences. And I want you to also go to the fire department's website, and they give you some information that's important. Because sometimes we don't even think about the fact that, we should light the fire and have things away from the fire so that they don't catch fire. You want to not go to sleep with a roaring fire. Little tips like that on the fire departments, NOLA.gov/fire department. All those things we should take into account. And look, for the most part, our citizens stay very, very safe. We this year have reduced the number of people who died during coal emergencies significantly by giving a lot of warnings and also bringing people who are unhoused into giving them opportunities to go to the sobering center, the Ozanam Inn, and other places like that. So we reduced the number of deaths. But one death is too much. We can hang out in our homes for 2 days if we don't have to go to work. I saw the grocery stores were filled on yesterday. People were buying provisions so that they could cover a couple of days. I just want to encourage people to recognize that the safest place for you is at your home.
Let me ask you this too, Councilman. Am I wrong in assuming that the number of homeless folks or unhoused have been moved off of the streets for protection from this weather?
Well, the number is absolutely lower just because there is a transition center on France Road. I mean, the way that it was introduced to the public and to the elected officials, for example, the governor created an executive order and didn't even contact the state representative and state senator who represent the district, and is also using a significant amount of state funds, $16 million to do it, even though I want the public to know that working with the Office of Homeless Services and Strategies over the last year, we've relocated hundreds of people from under the Chapatoulas area, under the Claiborne Expressway at Almanasta, for example, parts of Old Gentilly Road. Well, we knew what we were doing and we knew how to do it. But the bottom line is that right now, yes, I will say that the number of people on the streets has got to be lower because the center, and I visited it yesterday on France Road, has over 185 people or so. So that's people who were on the streets. They were driving around. The Office of Homeless Services and Strategy was helping to go around and talk to people and tell them of the options that were available to them. So I think that you'll certainly see, even during this time period, you'll see fewer deaths. So you have to take the kind of the good with the bad. I think that the communication could have been much better, but the fact is that fewer people are on the street and more people in an area that may be heated, if not totally heated, but heated with access to food and even counseling and medical services.
Yeah, I just didn't think that and I want to drag you into this, but I just didn't think that shelter, or what it's called now, which was a warehouse, was suitable for when you're trying to tell me that we're going to make it better. Because everybody that I've talked to, including some of the professionals that understand the process, are telling me that is not a building that is insulated, and that building itself was already up for demolition.
Well, Gerard, I've gone on a tour of it twice. I went when it was just a warehouse when they were cleaning out. As soon as I found out that this was going to be an option, I knew exactly where the address was. I mean, so, France Road is in the district, so it wasn't going to be an issue. I was going to get there immediately, and I did. And it was a warehouse. The problem, Gerard, is that on the week before last, the city of New Orleans was ruled against by the Louisiana Supreme Court, and it said that the governor could move those who were unhoused at his will because it came under the provisions of the city of the state, and that no city regulations had to be abided by. There was no building permit required. There was no notice required, et cetera, according to what the city does. But unfortunately, 4 days later, there was an announcement that there was going to be a transition center opening up 2 days after that. My issue to anybody who's listening is that we wanted to relocate and get people out of harm's way. I agree that was a thing to do. We were kind of doing that. If we were working more together, someone might have said to the city, hey, you know something, I'm going to put millions of dollars aside. You all go and find people and put them into safe conditions. We would be able to find them locations where they had the heating, where they had all of the services that they need. We wouldn't have had to build up to that, even if we had a week notice, not just 2 days notice that it's going to happen at this location in this warehouse. So that, I think, is the biggest concern, that there wasn't consultation with the city. And I got to say this, Gerard, on the radio, I'm going to be a little bit involved because you got me involved. The city has relocated over 150 people from Chapatoulas, from Claiborne, from Almanasta, from Old Gentilly, from other places, and they are in apartments right now throughout the region. And very honestly, we don't have any problems with them because we go around and provide them with services. It was just kind of something that we could have been working with the state on, and they could have gotten this done a lot earlier if we had had some consultation. We weren't focused on the Super Bowl. And the governor, to his credit, has not hesitated to say, I wanted them to be gone by the Super Bowl and Mardi Gras.
Right.
We weren't necessarily focused on that, but there were things that
I don't know if that's for his credit, though, Councilman. I just think that's that's just corralling people, like cattle.
That's not a compliment. That's not a compliment. I actually, in a way, tell me what you're going to do, and then just say that's what I'm doing. Don't try to.
Right. At least he told the truth, then, huh?
That right. And that look to all of you listeners. That's all I mean. At the end of the day, he's been consistent. He's been consistent. Don't say Eugene Green said that everything is okay, because he's just been consistent. But the bottom line is that there was a significant relocation, and we want to work with it. I was just there on yesterday, and they asked for certain supplies, and I'm going to try to get a distribution place out of Bethany Church and Pontchartrain Park, so that people can bring supplies there on Sunday. You'll hear about it, and then we'll bring it over there. They needed pants, for example, size 30 to 36. They needed gloves. They needed things that you would imagine that they needed, but not some of the other things that you think that they need. They didn't need toothbrushes and all. They seemed to have enough of that. It was a clothing situation that they needed more than anything else. But if we had a week, we could have gathered some of that, Gerard. That's my only thing. I think that the people who are working over there, I met the people in the kitchen, I met the people who are the counselors. I think that in the long run, they're going to provide a decent service. It's just that we could have been providing some of those services as people were moving in if we had some notice. There was an assumption.
Well, tell me about this, though, Councilman, because this is important to me, too, that as I'm listening to the expenditures for this warehouse, I'm hearing numbers between 16 to 18 or 19 million dollars that has gone toward this, and then the time frame, they're going to drop this whole process in 2 months.
Gerard, it's supposed to be 3 months. It goes through March and a little bit after.
But what happens after March?
Well, I mean, that's the question that we're asking our state officials to be able to answer. The city wants to know. Now, none of it comes under the jurisdiction of the city. There aren't any city funds. It's on land that's controlled by the port, which is state land. It's the governor's executive order. There was no building permit. There was no zoning requirements or anything like that. The city was left out. But the state officials have to answer that question. What's going to happen? Because they're not all going to be gone in 3 months. I mean, that's almost impossible. I mean, but look,
right.
Let's say
more going to be coming.
That's the case. We hope that that's the case, that everybody's in an apartment or in some place that's permanent. But I have a feeling that that's not going to be the case. So we're asking for those answers. Maybe we'll get them soon. But right now, people are there. There are over 185 people there. And we want to assist as much as possible with the process that gets them into permanent housing. We want to do the evaluations, if we can, that we have been doing to determine what some of their needs are relative to health, relative to mental first aid, for example. The city, through its Office of Homeless Services and Strategies, continues to support the relocation of people from the dangerous streets to the dangerous because there's a lot of health concerns as much as anything else, to a place where they can get the care that they need. So the city stands ready to assist the state. The state need tell us what they want to do.
Yeah. Well, look, Councilman, I appreciate it. Number one, you giving us the update. If anything changed, we'll definitely want to have some more conversation about what's going on. But you and your family, be safe. I know that, this is just a process and it ain't over. This thing's supposed to be going up and snowing until 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes. So still keep in mind that it's blowing snow too. So if you're driving, you can have your windshield wipers off, and it's not necessarily going to give you the clear vision that you need.
Right, you're going to have a blackout situation, or what they're going to call a whiteout situation. So
whiteout. Stay home if you can right now. That's the most important thing. Just stay home.
Councilman Green, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. You and your family be safe.
Call at any time. And you too, Gerard.
I appreciate it again.
Same to you.
All right.
Same to you and to all of your listeners.
All right. Bye-bye. The Councilman Eugene Green giving us the update for District D. Coming up in just a few minutes here, we've got to take a break. I'm going to reach out for Councilman Oliver Thomas so he talk to us about what's happening with New Orleans East and give us all the details there. We will take our break here and come back with more. It is a historic day, and I'm like, what is today? Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and it's a historic day in New Orleans. I'm looking at some of the, right now, levels. They're telling us we're on our way to 5 to 6 inches of snow right now. More coming up, y'all. Everybody hold tight.
Hey, New Orleans. Orleans, Tavis Smiley here, inviting you to join me each weekday evening at 7 p.m. right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. for the Tavis Smiley Show. You can expect great guests and getting the answers you need to know. It's the Tavis Smiley Show on our new home in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 a.m.
Tavis Smiley. Ranked number 45 on the Heavy 100 list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Do you know what United Way can do for you and your community? Find out by listening to United Way and You every Thursday at noon on WBOK 1230. United Way continues to fight for the most vulnerable members of the community. Find out how this Thursday and every Thursday at noon.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look.
All right, folks, right back at you. Gerard Stevens with you. Our number is 504-582-9422. Just to give you all the insight on what's going on with the snow and rain, sleet, all the different things that are happening with us today. A lot of folks didn't believe that it was going to end up. I didn't think it was going to be this much snow. I thought it was going to get a couple of flurries. Then I was going to talk bad about everybody. I'd be like, y'all ain't used to no snow. This couple of flurries. No, this is a snowstorm. This is a snowstorm. Good grief for me. Let's take a look. What we got? I just got a message from Oliver. He's going to be on WDSU at 2 p.m. I'm going to just tell him to call into the radio station and give us the information. I got to take my breaks accordingly because Nyron, who's working all the equipment here, told me, he said, let me tell you something. You better be on time. Nyron put it down on me. You better be on time and have everything running right. I ain't playing with you. Be like, who this dude think he is? Who this dude? He talking about me now, calling me names. He just don't know. I can hear him. Mm-hmm. My family called me last night, and they were like, man, you going to be all right there now? I was like, yeah, ain't nothing but little snow. And then they started warning me about two different things. I said, what is that? The first thing you got to remember with snow is that it is heavy. It's frozen water. It's heavy. So that snow is going to end up having an impact because it's going to end up landing on your power lines, causing the weight of the snow to drag down those power lines. The other part of it is when it melts, it becomes just regular water. But if the temperature goes down, then you're talking about ice. Like, uh-oh. So what happened in other places up north is that there were places without power for weeks at a time because of the amount of snow they got. Now, we're not getting that much snow there. I'm talking about they were getting like 2 and 3 feet of snow. So nobody could get to them. And then by the time that the guys in the bucket trucks could move around, after they cleared some of that snow, they had to get up on the lines and start going up and, removing branches, removing trees that had fallen, things of that sort. Hopefully we won't be that bad. I don't think we will be. But I do think that some of us are going to lose some power. Now, let's talk about that. That's important. It breaks my heart to hear that people that lost power, didn't have power to keep warm. You got a generator and you end up putting that generator too close to your home and you get carbon monoxide poison and you go to sleep and you don't wake back up anymore. I'm begging that doesn't happen, especially during this time right now. It wasn't but a year ago, I think it was a year ago, or maybe 2, that a family, a mother, her son, and her daughter, who didn't understand the carbon monoxide poisoning issue, their power was out, and they went to one of the industrial home improvement stores and bought a daggone generator. Took the generator out of the box, got some gasoline, loaded it up, cranked that puppy up, sat it too close to the house, and the carbon monoxide gases ended up seeping through the house. They went to sleep, and they found them the next day, all of them dead because of carbon monoxide poisoning. Please, y'all, I don't want to get that again, okay? All right, we got to take another break here. We're going to take our break. We're going to play some news. We'll come back and have some more conversation with you, y'all. We'll take some of your telephone calls. I want to hear from y'all, too, about, what y'all think about this snow. You out in it? You playing in it? You taking the kids out? You walked in it? Or you staying inside and you're not playing at all? We shall see. We shall see. 504-582-9422. News is up next. We'll come back and have some more conversation with you in just a few minutes, y'all, right here on WBOK.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans, home of the Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. New wildfires near San Diego, fueled by Santa Ana winds, have prompted mandatory evacuations. 4 fires burning between 17 and 80 acres are 0% contained. Crews are also battling the Palisades and Eaton fires in Los Angeles. After Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Chicagoans were inspired by events and service. The Rainbow Push Coalition's MLK Breakfast had nearly 1,000 attendees, with Ben Jealous as keynote speaker and Jesse Jackson Sr. honored. A Border Patrol agent was fatally shot during a traffic stop in Vermont near the Canadian border. 1 suspect is also dead and another is in custody. The FBI is investigating. And at President Trump's inauguration, Detroit, Michigan pastor Lorenzo Sewell invoked MLK's I Have a Dream speech, praying for unity and character over color. Sewell, who is black, stressed the need for national unity after a divisive political season. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a special shout out to our partner, the All-State Sugar Bowl. During the holiday break, over 30 teachers have the opportunity to ride in the New Year's Eve parade, and boy, did they have a blast. In addition, we had over 60 teachers attend the All-State Sugar Bowl game. Out of the 60, 11 teachers received a $1,000 gift card to purchase needed supplies to enhance the learning experiences for their students. Thank you, All-State Sugar Bowl, for your commitment to NOLA's teachers.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you on a snowy Tuesday. Well, we got to write this day down on the calendar, huh? Snowing in New Orleans. Did you ever think? With all the types of weather that we're having around here these days, don't put nothing down, right? Saying that it won't happen because you never know. Our condolences that are going out to my plate mama. She is my real mama. She lost her son, Keith. My condolences go out to Roberta Brown and her family on the loss of her son this past weekend on Sunday. Many, many condolences to her. She loved her baby Keith, and he loved his mama. But Keith passed on Sunday afternoon about 12:30. So we'll let you know when the funeral services are. But if you get a chance, reach out to Miss Roberta Brown and let her know that she's praying for on the loss of her son. All right, for those that are trying to get in contact with us, let me let you know the telephone number is 504-582-9422. That's 504-582-9422. Snowing in the Crescent City, they said that you can expect it to be at its heaviest late afternoon, which is now, going up until probably, 4 o'clock? So we're about 2 or 3 more hours away from this thing even subsiding. Even from this thing subsiding. So, I got to bring some politics up tonight. So we will do and let you know. All right, who we got? We got somebody on the phone with us. Who we got? Hello.
O.T. Thomas from the Good Morning Show.
I think I know this brother.
The Front Porch and Equity Media, baby. How you doing, Doctor?
Oh, man, can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Can I believe it? Yeah, I'm seeing it, man.
Councilman, I got to tell you, this is the first time I ever seen it like this one. I've been here, 35 years? I've never seen this much snow in this area, but I was sitting back and saying to myself, let's just take me back home to North Carolina.
Hey, man, this more than climate change. This is flipping the continent, right? Based on what we're seeing right now. And I saw a little bit in '63 when I was a baby. I don't much remember it, but this is this is winter wonderland.
Yeah, this what it is. So
it's beautiful.
I said I wanted to reach out to you because I definitely want to know what's going on. I heard a couple of things earlier about District E, but I wanted to get I guess, the crooks and the crannies, definitely from you to see what's going on with District E.
Yeah, we got some boil water advisories, of course, that throughout the city. A few places we have a few Venetian Isles, Lower Nine, parts of Haynes Boulevard. That's in my part. That's in my district as well as District D. And man, we have some electrical issues and concerns. So we've been getting our energy updates, but our infrastructure is not made to sustain this much snow, and it's still snowing out there. I'm talking about, we were building a snowman earlier with the kids, and the first half of the snowman we were building, it pretty much covered up with snow. So, you know, it actually was so cold earlier that we were going to wait until it died down or stopped to finish, but it has not stopped yet. The other thing that concerns me is the way, and you know, from living other places and being up north or around the world, the weight of the snow on our roofs. Our roofs are not built for that, as well as much of our infrastructure. So even though it's beautiful out there, I know some of us are enjoying it while being careful, it's still very dangerous out there, and something our infrastructure is not built to handle.
I was more concerned, and I think this is not a statement that we've made too much, but I am concerned about the weight of the snow sitting on those power lines. But I mean the power line, but our homes. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want them sitting on the power lines, but I don't want them sitting on my southern built roof that's built for warm air and humidity. And you know, the way we don't construct our buildings here for hundreds of pounds or thousands of pounds of snow. So that's a concern all over, as well as our infrastructure and our power line. Yeah. And then this boil water advisory, has anybody from Sewage and Water Board made a statement on what is going on, especially for the Lower Ninth Ward?
It's water pressure. You know, with same thing it usually is. I mean, so when you think about the amount of snow and cold into the 20s, and Dr. White and I talked about this on the Good Morning Show when she asked a question about how long can we sustain it. It is difficult and challenging as it is now. When the snow stops and it gets down to 23 degrees like it's predicted tomorrow, that's when it begins to be real dangerous, Gerard, because you develop those 1, 2, and 3 layers of ice underneath the frozen snow, and that ice packs on power lines, it packs on Sewage and Water Board, power stations, generators, it packs on top of our roofs. And I don't want to discount that, but I'm hoping at least we get a little melt before that ice freezes and weighs heavily on our private property in our homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one of the concerns, and I just didn't know if it had been really talked about. You know, what comes after the storm? You know, the storm I think we can survive, but what comes after that storm?
Yeah, Dr. White and I talked about that earlier, but that's what we do here on WBOK. We're thorough, whether it's the morning show with Dr. White and I, whether it's Kimber and Graylin, the reality check with you, or even our sports show. I mean, there isn't too much we don't cover. You know, when you talk about getting real information out, I guess that's the importance of our station. No, so we've actually had discussions that I haven't heard on any other outlet, any other news about our roofing, our infrastructure, what happens when the snow stops, when those layers of ice begin to develop. No, Gerard, we're the only ones who talk like that.
Yeah. Well, I just got off the phone talking with Councilman Green, too, and one of the things I told Councilman Green, I said, you know, I'm maybe to me, but having these in-depth conversations about this homeless shelter that has been put out there on France Road, which is actually just a warehouse. Is it built for, you know, this type of situation here that we're going through? Because we're also talking about the unhoused living out there now, and what are we doing to make sure that they're going to be okay? Because if I'm not mistaken, Councilman, am I wrong in saying this? What wasn't that shelter or that warehouse? Wasn't the warehouse up for demolition?
Well, it's on state property. There were from the old Equitable plant to a lot of the old yacht remodeling and renovation place. A lot of that area was in disrepair. So I'm not my district. I'm not exactly familiar with the condition of it. But the one thing I am thankful of is that we at least have a place or some spaces for people to go inside. I talked about that earlier. Dr. White and I talked about that on the video that I just did. But I think the question has to be, and Gerard, this is what we do here on the morning show. This is what you just mentioned. What happens a day or two after? If we continue with these cold conditions, it actually gets worse, right? Because folk can't live outside, especially if we got packed ice and rows of ice, hardened ice on top of each other. They can't. So there has to be adequate shelter in place to be able to sustain them at least for the next week, next several days. So hopefully the state and since the state, hopefully there was some thought put into that. I do know that a $19 million 3-month shelter for Super Bowl, we could have leveraged that $19 million a whole lot better for some permanent temporary housing, some more sustainable housing, or more midterm or long-term housing. So hopefully that level of cooperation and thought goes into the next phase of what we're doing, because we missed it on the first phase.
Well, by that time, though, I ain't trying to be, no butt on this, but by the time we get to the second phase on this, that money going to be gone. Where did the state find the money? I thought that we were in a deficit.
Well, Gerard, how accounting is, depending on, deficit for who? I mean, boy, why you want to start some stuff? Working class, us everyday folk been in a deficit for a long time in this country. I mean, the shot callers, they're using our money to make sure they're not in a deficit. And I'm not trying to be facetious. Well, maybe we are, right? But deficit for who and for whom? And the one thing I think the reason why people are so turned off by government these days is that government pocket seems to be doing a lot better than everyday citizens' pocket. And at some point, we need to be more concerned about everyday people, working class people, your pocket and others' pockets than municipal government. And when they see stuff like this, when they see a road paved in a month or less, an entire roadway for the Superdome, when they see $19 million plucked out of the sky for a temporary shelter, when they see major thoroughfares finished in a few months to get ready for Super Bowl, I mean, it actually makes people more skeptical, and that's unfortunate.
Right. Now we know that, and I know this is not your district, but I can bring this up to the Councilman Green too. But I thought it was interesting that for years now we've been talking about Dowman Road as it goes from I-10 all the way to the airport.
Man, I've talked about that. Councilman Green, the man, talked about that, man. You've talked about it on your show. Me and Dr. Wise, me and Professor talked about it. Absolutely correct. And then all of a sudden, for the Super Bowl,
all of a sudden it becomes an essential location to get paved and redone. I'm like, what?
Well, look, this is I'm going to give a kudos to Jay Cicero, right, who was a longtime head of the Sports Foundation. The governor didn't tab him to be the head of that whole effort this time. He tabbed somebody else. But Jay had done a lot. There was always community folk involved. This is a little different effort than we have right now. I've been on when I represented the CBD in Uptown, I was on one of those Super Bowl committees, so I know what can be done and how you can involve the community, how you can involve people, how you can make a lasting effort. So this is a little different go-around this time, and let's hope at some point after the Super Bowl is done, our communities get the same treatment.
Yeah. Well, I love to see there be maybe a push to get certain things done after the Super Bowl, but let's see, will it go away? Well, let's just see.
Maybe we ought to have some. Maybe we ought to have some mini bowls, or maybe we should call it the Mardi Gras Day Bowl, the French Quarter Fest Bowl.
We should call it in the Red Beans and Rice Bowl.
Yes, the Essence Bowl. The second line bowl, so that
just a bowl, some type of bowl.
Just as long as we ain't at the bottom of the bowl.
Don't be at the bottom of the bowl because you get scraped. Mm-hmm.
I know Jazz laughing. You see what you done did, man. You done went out and called you got me in some deep snow. You gonna plow me out, bro?
You are the snowman, so don't even play.
Oh boy, shut up! You need to quit.
You are the snowman, so don't even play. There you go.
But
Councilman, I know that your phone probably ringing off the hook. You got some stuff to do. But always keep us updated because I know that's what you're going to do anyway. But thank you for what you do and keep us updated. Appreciate it.
All right, little Frosty. Go do your thing, Papa. Appreciate your time.
All right, Frosty.
All right, Papa.
I'll talk to you later. Councilman Oliver Thomas giving us all the details and the updates on what's happening with District E. All right, Nyron. All right, at some point in time, you're going to get it. All right, there you go. All right, y'all, we're going to take a break here. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Have some more conversation with you in just a few minutes here. Take some of your telephone calls, too, because we got to find out. Did you watch the inauguration? Did you watch the inauguration? I didn't. But I saw some of the updates, of course. But I didn't. I couldn't put myself to do it. I couldn't. I just couldn't. All right, we'll take a break here. Come on, Nyron, we'll take the break. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation with folks in just a minute, y'all. It is Tuesday, a snow day in New Orleans. Can you believe that? More coming up.
Find us online. Did you know that you can now listen to your favorite show whenever you want? How? Just go to www.wbok1230.com. Click on the Talk tab and select your favorite show. There you'll see your favorite host and the show from each day. And be sure to follow us on Facebook at WBOK1230AM, Instagram at WBOK.1230, and TikTok at WBOK1230AM.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
WBOK and LCMC Health are proud to present Keeping You Well Cafe, 60 Minutes with LCMC Health, where the doctors speak directly to the people of New Orleans. LCMC Health is committed to improving the quality of care here in New Orleans, the Gulf South, and beyond. The Keeping You Well Cafe is another way for LCMC Health to engage with the community. At the Keeping You Well Cafe, LCMC Health joins WBOK and local businesses to answer your questions about wellness and health.
Hello, WBOK listening audience. This is Pastor Robert Tanner of the Community Church of River Ridge, Louisiana, inviting you to tune in to our Sunday morning broadcast at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning right here on WBOK 1230 AM. That's Community Church with Pastor Robert Tanner every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on WBOK 1230.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Live today as the snow keeps on coming. Yes, indeed. Snowing in New Orleans. Who would have ever thunk it? Who would have ever thunk it? Please be careful if you plan on going out in it. You have been advised by all state officials as well as your local officials, please don't be driving in it. I do say take the kids out and go in and enjoy some of the snow, but if you're trying to go out and just ride around just to be sightseeing, that is a very bad idea. Try not to do so. Try not to do so. All right. Yesterday was also Martin Luther King Day. Well, who would have ever thought that we had Martin Luther King Day and the inauguration of Donald John Trump on the same day? I don't know if to say, congratulations or what an insult. Which one was it? Taking office yesterday was President Donald Trump as he issued several executive orders addressing several topics, including governmental censorship. And who would have ever thought that TikTok would survive a governmental executive order? Not to get rid of it, but to bring it back. Also was immigration and climate policies. This is the fourth time since 1937 that a U.S. president signed an executive order during their first day in office. The executive order is an order issued unilaterally by the president who carries the force of law. Presidents use executive orders to execute their campaign promises or policy goals that may face opposition or roadblocks in Congress. In his last term, Trump only signed one executive order on the first day. The executive order focused on minimizing the economic and regulatory burdens on the Affordable Care Act. So far, he has signed 26 executive orders on day one, and the record for executive orders signed in a day, that is the record. The record for the executive order signed on day one, and that record stands now since 1937. During his administration, he ended his first week in office with a total of 4 executive orders signed. And this time around, just hours after taking office, he has already surpassed that number. Wow. So what executive orders did he sign? Those orders, let me give them to you. Restoring names that honor American greatness. Well, what does that mean, Gerard? I'm glad you all asked, because I'm going to bring that up. The authority vested in me by President by the Constitution of the law, Section 1, purpose and policy. It is the national interest to promote the extraordinary heritage of our nation and ensure future generations of American citizens celebrate the legacy of our American heroes. The naming of our national treasures, including breathtaking natural wonders and historic works of art, should honor the contributions of visionary and patriotic Americans in our nation's rich past. Okay, so this goes on and on and on and on and on and on. 1917, the country officially honored President McKinley through the naming of the North America's highest peak. Yet after nearly a century, President Obama's administration in 2015 stripped the McKinley name from federal nomenclature, an affront to President McKinley's life, his achievements, and his sacrifice. The order honors President McKinley giving his life for our great nation and dutifully recognizes his historic legacy of protecting America's interests and generating enormous wealth for Americans. So they are reinstating the name Mount McKinley. That's at the Denali National Park and Reserve. They're going to reinstate that. Well, what's the other ones? Designating cartels and other organizations as foreign terrorist organizations, and especially designated global terrorists. Here's another one. Reforming the federal hiring process and restoring merit to government service. Everybody is talking about this one. Reforming the federal hiring process and restoring merit to government service. American citizens deserve an excellent and efficient federal workforce that attracts the highest caliber of civil servants, committed to achieving the freedom, prosperity, and democratic rule that our Constitution promotes. But current federal hiring practices are broken, insular, and outdated. They no longer focus on merit, practical skill, dedication to our Constitution. Federal hiring should be based on impermissible factors such as commitment to illegal racial discrimination, under the guise of equity, or one's commitment to the invented concept of gender identity over sex. Inserting such factors into the hiring process subverts the will of the people, but critical government functions at risk and risk losing the best qualified candidates. And by making our recruitment and hiring processes more efficient and focused on serving the nation, we will ensure that the federal workforce is prepared to help achieve American greatness and attracts the talent necessary to serve our citizens effectively. By significantly improving hiring practices and principles, Americans will receive the federal resources and services they deserve from the highest skilled federal workforce in the world. So what does that mean? There's a part of this that scares me, and I don't know if you all picked it up when I said it. It says the current hiring practices are broken, insular, and outdated. They are no longer focused on merit, practical skill, and dedication to our Constitution. Federal hiring should not be based on impermissible factors, such as one's commitment to illegal racial discrimination under the guise of equity, or one's commitment to the invented concept of gender identity over sex. So they're saying in this, that this commitment to illegal racial discrimination is actually under the disguise of equity? A disguise. All right, then. We'll talk about that one. In radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing. Purpose and policy. The Biden administration forced illegal and immoral discrimination programs going by the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, into virtually all aspects of federal government in areas ranging from airline safety to the military. This was a concerted effort stemming from President Biden's first day in office when he issued Executive Order 13985, advancing racial equity and support for underserved communities, underserved communities through the federal government. Pursuant to excellent or Executive Orders 13985 and follow-on orders, nearly every federal agency and entity submitted equity action plans to detail the ways that they have furthered DEI's infiltration of the federal government. The public release of these plans demonstrated immense public waste and shameful discrimination. That ends today. Americans deserve a government committed to deserving every person with equal dignity and respect, and to expending precious taxpayer resources only on making America great. I don't know about this one. Do you trust it? Do you trust it? Especially when we're talking about defending or getting rid of programs that have went further, I think, than any other president in making sure that all, not just one, but all races get an opportunity to compete or to serve. But that's another conversation we'll have too when we have that conversation about these executive orders. Here's another one. Defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth to the federal government. Defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth to the federal government. What does that mean? Across the country, ideologists who deny the biological reality of sex have increasingly used legal and other socially coercive means to permit men to self-identify as women and gain access to intimate single-sex spaces and activities designed for women, from women's domestic abuse shelters to women's workplace showers. This is wrong. Efforts to eradicate the biological reality of sex fundamentally attack women by depriving them of their dignity, safety, and well-being. The erasure of sex in language and policy has a corrosive impact not just on women, but on the validity of the entire American system. Basing federal policy on truth is critical to scientific inquiry, public safety, morale, and trust in government itself. This unhealthy road is paved on ongoing and purposeful attacks against the ordinary and long-standing use of understanding of biological and scientific terms, replacing the immutable biological reality of sex with an internal, fluid, and subjective sense of self unmoored from biological facts, invalidating the true and biological category of women, and properly transforms laws and policies designed to protect safe sex-based opportunities into laws and policies that have undermined them, replacing long-standing cherished legal rights and values with an identity based social concept. And according to the Trump administration, will defend women's rights and protect freedom of conscience by using clear and accurate language and policies that recognize women are biologically female and men are biologically male. Some folks agree with that, some folks won't. Some folks will agree with that. And I'm talking basically about you. Some of y'all will defend that one because, I mean, we've had conversations about men that have been considered transgender that are now participating in women's sports like boxing, basketball, and should they have the rights to do so? And I've heard more men say no, they shouldn't, because they still have the makeup of a man. They still have the bones of a man. They still have the fortitude of a man. I don't care how many hormones you've been taking. Interesting. We'll talk about that one. America First Policy Directive to the Secretary of State. This is another executive order that was signed. America First Policy Directive to the Secretary of State. What does that mean? From this day forward, the foreign policy of the United States shall champion core American interests and always put America and America's citizens first. As soon as practicable, the Secretary of State shall issue guidance, bringing the Department of State's policies, programs, personnel, and operations in line with an American First foreign policy, which puts America and its interests first. General provisions. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect the authority granted by law to an executive department or agency, or the functions of the Director of Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, and legislative proposals. And this order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriations. The order shall be intended to and does not create any right to benefit, substantive, or procedural enforcement at law or in equity by any party against the United States and its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person. That ain't a bad one if you believe in that the United States should be first in everything. Should it be first in everything? Donald Trump said, America first. America first. No. All right, here's the other one. Protecting the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. By the authority invested in me, we go to policy and purpose. It is the policy of the United States to protect its citizens from aliens who intend to commit terrorist attacks, threaten our national security, espouse hateful ideology, or otherwise exploit the immigration laws of malevolent purposes. So when I first read this, I was like, okay, anybody could sign that. But I thought about it. I was like, no. This is actually against those folks that want to come to the United States and become citizens. This don't have nothing to do with terrorists. This got everything to do with folks that live in other countries that are coming here to live. To protect Americans, the United States must be vigilant during the visa issuance process. Yeah, this is for folks that are trying to come to live here. And they call them aliens. You coming to the United States, you alien. So I'm writing this against you. That's interesting. We'll get into that one at some other time. What's the next one? Unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. I'm telling you, they want to go into Alaska and start drilling their national resources. What do you mean? Here it is right here in Section 1. The state of Alaska holds an abundant of largely untapped supply of natural resources, including, among others, energy, mineral, timber, and seafood. Unlocking its bounty of natural wealth will raise the prosperity of our citizens while helping to enhance our nation's economic and national security for generations to come. By developing these resources to the fullest extent possible, we can help deliver price relief for Americans, create high-quality jobs for our citizens, probably take down some of our trade imbalances, augment the nation's exercise of global energy dominance, and guard against foreign powers weaponizing energy supplies and theaters of geopolitical conflict. Unleashing this opportunity requires an immediate end to the assault on Alaska's sovereignty and its ability to respond or responsibly develop these resources for the benefit of the nation. It is therefore imperative to immediately reverse the punitive restrictions implemented by the previous administration that specifically target resource development of both state and federal lands in Alaska. So we reversing any type of benefit that Alaska was receiving as far as conservation is concerned. Probably like, you couldn't go in and do no drilling, or you couldn't take but a certain amount of fish or seafood out of the sea. That's going to be gone. We're probably going to run some pipelines through there. But I always say that Alaska is one of the places where we see global warming to hit first. That's where global warming, to me, hits first. Help us, Jesus. We're going to go in there and tear it up. And we will tear it up. If they don't already have the drilling going on now. But what do we do? Because he said, we're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. All right, here's another one. It's called Protecting the American People Against Invasion. Over the last 4 years, the prior administration administered the oversee of unprecedented flood of illegal immigrants into the United States. Millions of illegal aliens across our border or were permitted to fly directly into the United States on commercial flights and allowed to settle in American communities in violation of longstanding federal laws. Many of these aliens unlawfully within the United States presented significant threats to the national security and public safety, committing vile and heinous acts against innocent Americans. Others are engaged in hostile activities, including espionage, economic espionage, and preparations for terror-related activities. Many have abused the generosity of American people, and their presence in the United States has cost taxpayers billions of dollars in federal, state, and local levels. What did you find out in there? This is going to be another executive order that is against people. It's against them people. What people? The Mexicans. Now, the thing to me is, we got folks coming in from other parts of town or other countries as well that are blue-eyed and blonde. My question is, will that go toward them as well? Trump signed 4 executive orders at the Capital One Arena addressing federal censorship and the weaponization of federal government. He also signed an executive order revoking 67 executive orders and 11 presidential memorandums signed during the Biden administration. That's interesting. So we still working on Obamacare? On his first day, he signed 26 executive orders. The only other person that signed more or anywhere near the number, he signed 26. Biden signed 9 on his first day. On his first week, Biden signed 22 executive orders. And within his first 100 days, he signed 42 executive orders. That's what he did. Okay, let's get you ready for the final hour here. I'm still waiting for some folks to call me up and give me the latest about what's happening in the district. We'll go back and go through some of the closings for tomorrow as well as today. Get you prepared for what to expect after the snow is gone, and see can we talk to some more folks and give you all the details about what to expect, because there's more to this than just, wow, look at the pretty snow today. No, ma'am. No, sir. You need to think about what's coming tomorrow. What are you going to do tomorrow? How are you going to get around tomorrow? We shall see. All right. Everybody hold tight. We're going to take a break here. We're going to come back and we'll get you ready for 3 o'clock because we got news at the top of the hour. But you can call in, too, and get some of your comments taken care of. 504-582-9422 is the number. More coming up next right here at WBOK.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. In a whirlwind start to his presidency, Donald Trump issued roughly 1,500 pardons and commuted sentences to 14 individuals connected to the January 6th Capitol attack. Among those pardoned, members of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers convicted of seditious conspiracy. From there, he revoked 78 Biden-era executive orders going after things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, calling them radical and wasteful. Trump took aim at federal workers, signing a memorandum making it easier to fire civil servants. On health care, he signed executive orders aimed at repealing Biden-era initiatives to expand the Affordable Care Act, cutting subsidies for low-income families, and halting federal efforts to lower prescription drug costs. He also renewed his push for states to oversee Medicare funding and reduce federal oversight. Other actions include redefining birthright citizenship, and the list goes on and on. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
On last week's From the Press Box to Press Row with Donald Ware.
For the Commanders, when we talk about great receivers in the National Football League, we rarely talk about Terry McLaurin. 5 straight years of 1,000 yards receiving, and even in his first season, he had like 920 yards receiving. So this is a guy that, since he's come into the National Football League, that has also gotten it done. But really, the key to the Commanders this year has really been Jayden Daniels and some of the things that he's been able to do, why this team is in the position that it's in.
From the Press Box to Press Row is one of the hottest sports talk shows in the country. Join Donald each week as he he takes you on a journey through the world of HBCU sports and pro sports and interviews with top sports and entertainment figures. That's from the press box to press row.
Fridays at 6 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month, a service of the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month, we're focusing on lead, a heavy metal that's dense, soft, and poses serious health risks. In Cancer Alley, lead exposure from industrial emissions or contaminated soil can significantly increase cancer risks and other health problems. Stay informed and protect your health. For more information, visit risestjames.org.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Snowing in the Crescent City. Yes, indeed. It is snow day number 1. Who would have ever thought that we would be sitting here saying that we're getting somewhere close to, 7 to 8 inches of snow today? Interstate 310, US 90, and Orleans Parish and all the elevated bridges are closed. There's nobody on the road. Well, Gerard, how come they don't have the snow plows? What? The what? We may have some snow plows. We may have some. Have you ever seen any snow plows in New Orleans? I have not. They may be borrowing some. They may be getting them shipped in from somewhere. But I've never really seen any snow plows in New Orleans. So that's probably going to happen at a later time, too. They're probably waiting for the majority of this stuff to go hit the ground. And then probably on the major thoroughfares, like the elevated expressways, I-10, US 90, 310, those major interstate exchanges, they're probably going to hit them then. But right now, with this wind blowing, with this, I guess, so-called sticking that we're having, because it is sticking. There's no doubt about it. The snow is sticking. They're more than likely going to wait. I think it's going to be about 3 or 4 o'clock, probably 4 or 5 o'clock. And we'll see somebody go out there and probably try to scrape some of this stuff. But right now, they're asking that you stay off the roads and just pay attention. If you think you're going to class tomorrow, nope. Delgado is going to remain closed on Wednesday. So if you are taking classes, a student at Delgado in Orleans, your classes are canceled. Bridge between General de Gaulle in Orleans Parish is closed. That's an overpass. That's going to be closed. That is closed now. They shut down the actual GNO. All Inspire schools going to be closed on Wednesday and Thursday. All right. So if you're a part of the Inspire School Network, your school's closed. Tulane University going to continue operating remotely and will remain physically closed on Wednesday, except for essential personnel. All right, that's to give you that insight. All NOLA public schools, charters, and Leah Chase School will remain closed on Wednesday and Thursday. That's to give you the insight. All right, OPSO schools, public schools, Orleans Parish public schools are going to be closed on Wednesday and Thursday, even the Leah Chase School. Benjamin Franklin High School will be closed through Thursday. Trinity Episcopal School is going to be closed on Wednesday. All First Line schools going to be closed Wednesday and Thursday. St. George's Episcopal School will be closed on Wednesday. The Salvation Army is open at 4526 South Claiborne. New Orleans Mission is open on the Retha Castle Haley. That's 1130. Ozanon Inn, 2239 Porter Street, has space for women. Call 311 or Ozanon Inn directly at 504-523-1184. That's to give you some insight on what is open. If you are in a situation, Rosenwald Shelter, the warming center, is happening right now. If you are in a situation where your power is out or you don't have the capacity for heating, if something's happening, you can actually go there now. You can go there now. It is open. I'm actually getting text messages from folks that are in other parts of the world, and they were like, "Did I hear you right?" Yes, ma'am, you sure did. New Orleans is snowing. It is snowing. And it's going to keep snowing for the next couple of hours. All right, we're right at 3 o'clock Central Time. So we've got our news we got to do real quick. We'll come back, have some more conversation with you in just a few minutes. Feel free to call in, because our number is still the same. It did not change. We got our good friend Nyron, who is doing an excellent job operating this puppy. So make sure that you call in. He'll answer the phone for you, all right? More coming up, folks. Everybody hold tight. News is next.
Have you heard the secret of what New Orleans is talking about? I promise everything will be okay if you're listening here on the airwaves. It's that WBOK 12:30 a.m.
WBOK 12:30 a.m. New Orleans, home of the Reality Check, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump ended federal diversity policies Monday, citing discrimination concerns. He hinted at targeting private DEI efforts next as companies like Meta and Walmart scale back similar initiatives. Reverend Al Sharpton called for a boycott of companies cutting diversity programs, citing Martin Luther King Jr.'s fight for equality. He said the National Action Network will act within 90 days. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is pledging to work with President Trump on addressing criminal migrants, stating those who commit violent crimes forfeit their right to remain in the U.S. Adams assured law-abiding migrants they can still pursue the American dream despite Trump signaling plans for mass deportation. And Chicago celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day with events like the Rainbow Push Coalition's MLK Breakfast at Soldier Field. Jesse Jackson Sr. was honored as the first Black presidential candidate. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New Schools for New Orleans wants to send a special shout out to our partner, the All-State Sugar Bowl. During the holiday break, over 30 teachers have the opportunity to ride in the New Year's Eve parade, and boy, did they have a blast. In addition, we had over 60 teachers attend the All-State Sugar Bowl game. Out of the 60, 11 teachers received a $1,000 gift card to purchase needed supplies to enhance the learning experiences for their students. Thank you, All-State Sugar Bowl, for your commitment to NOLA's teachers.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey, that's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey, that's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, right back at you. Gerard Stevens with you on this Tuesday afternoon in the Crescent City, as we are, everybody in disbelief because we are dealing with snow. We got snow. No, I didn't fall down. The phone did. Right when I said that, right? Yeah, we got snow. This type of snow we're not used to. I think in my entire time that I've lived in New Orleans, I have not seen this much snow. I think it only snowed here one time before. And that was 1989, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 1989. Government officials are asking that you do not try to get out and drive in this. Because, look, we're not used to nothing like this. And I say we, I didn't say y'all, I said we. Because, look, it's been years that I drove in anything like this. It's been years. Because what I did was, I was brought up in stuff like this. This was nothing for us living in North Carolina. 7 inches? Oh, man, we can maneuver that, put some chains on your tires and get it. But now, if you haven't been driving in this most of your life or used to something like this, I would suggest leave it to the professionals and you stay at home. Stay at home. They're saying that we're going to get, and I'm looking at the weather forecast right now, they're going back and making some new predictions, and that is that New Orleans will probably get an additional 2 more inches. So we could end up with somewhere between 5 to 7 inches. Wow. How do you respond and how do you act to that? Enjoy your vacation. Stay at home. Turn the heat on. Pray that your electricity don't go off. I said I was going to go outside and take some pictures and see if I could post them on the Facebook page. So I'm more than likely going to paste them on my Facebook page in probably the next few minutes for those of you that want to see for yourselves, especially for those that are living out of the state or living out of the city. And I just got a text message from my good friend LaTanya Norton, who's out in L.A. She was like, wait a minute, did I hear you say snow? I'm like, yes, ma'am, snow. Because I was more worried about them out there, because I'm like, did I hear y'all say fire? And then speaking of fire, let me tell you this too. Been working on a couple of shows for this week. And this Friday, Kemma, one of our good friends that lived out in the Valley area of LA County, where the fires erupted, will be joining us by phone on Friday, giving us the update, talking about the area, the diversity of the area, what happened, or predictions, I'll say alleged predictions of how this got going. Was this from the power company? How did this spark or ignite? How did we get here? How did we get here? And now I'm hearing that you're having the folks coming into those areas trying to buy a property, trying to offer them cents on the dollar, trying to give them cash during their time of, need, which I think it ends up being a time of greed. I do. I think it ends up being a time of greed for those folks that's coming in and doing that, taking advantage of those folks. And do you call that opportunity? Do you call that opportunity or just low down? Or do you call it a low down opportunity? Down to know. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. So one of the things we don't get an opportunity to do, which I know y'all hear me moving around doing different stuff, and this is what I'm doing right now. I got to tell you what I'm doing. You don't get an opportunity when it's real cold like this too much. To get hot cocoa and coffee and stuff in your system. So when I went to the store yesterday, I was at Monday. That was Monday. One of the things I did was I bought some hot cocoa. I just made me a cup of hot cocoa. All right. The other thing that I'm doing right now is going out into the weather. Gerard, you just told everybody to stay inside. I did. I said, don't drive. I'm not going to drive. I'm just going to go out my door, take a couple of pictures, maybe make me a little video, and then I'm coming back in. I done got too old to be playing out here in this cold. You catch cold too quick these days. Plus, I got some of the good folks in my neighborhood that are out here making snowmen and doing all that other stuff. So maybe they'll talk to us. But as far as going somewhere, no. That is not what I'm trying to do. All right, we're in the hallway. We're going down the steps. We're going out the door. And yes, indeed. Oh, my. Yeah, this ain't nothing to play with out here. Oh, wow. All right, that's enough. I'm going to take my little picture. And then I'm going back inside. Yeah, this is a thick blanket of snow. This is not a regular blanket of snow. And I stepped out in it, and I know that's at least 4 or 5 inches, at least. And you can hear the crows. Good grief. All right, let's make a video. And then we'll post it. So that y'all be able to see exactly what's going on. All right, we're making a video right now. And the wind's blowing. Wow. The wind's blowing. The snow's still coming down. And I see why they're calling it a snow blizzard. Okay, that's enough. I'm cold now. And I'm going back inside. You'd be like, but Gerard, you just told us not to go out in it. I consider this part of the work habit, the work hazards. Well, I'm standing underneath what you call it, and I'm standing underneath the shelter, and I'm still full of snow because of the wind. If you go outside, if you let the kids go out there, bundle up. Because it's cold. It's cold out there. All right, so we'll post these so that you'll know what we're experiencing, and that'll give you some insight. Love. Yep, folks are texting me in disbelief about the snow. Yeah. Well, how you think we feel? We in disbelief too. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to make me some hot cocoa. He'd be like, he kind of stupid. Mm-hmm. With some marshmallows. The Causeway Bridge closed. Municipal and Traffic Court will remain closed on Wednesday. Orleans Criminal District Court closed on Wednesday. The City of New Orleans Department of Sanitation has suspended citywide trash and recycling collections through Wednesday. So be on the lookout Thursday to start back up. Orleans Parish Civil District Court, First and Second City Court is going to be closed on Wednesday. Okay, that's First and Second City Court for Civil District, okay? As this stuff comes in, I'm trying to get it to you. NOPD says, do not attempt to circumvent the barricades that they put out. Doing so is not only dangerous, but it also puts your life at risk and the safety of the first responders at risk. So if there's barricades put out, please don't try to circumvent them and go around them or move them around so you can get through. They're put out there for a reason. Don't know if that's a problem yet, but I'm just trying to make sure. US 90B between I-10 and Tchoupitoulas closed. Those on and off ramps are closed. The HOV lanes closed. Interstate 10, Interstate 310, and all ramps leading to US 90 and elevated bridges are closed. Yeah, this stuff ain't nothing to play with right now. The HOV lanes, Orleans Parish closed. Judge Sieber Bridge, Claiborne Avenue Bridge between Poland Avenue and Tennessee closed due to the winter weather. And it's probably going to be some more and some time before they're going to open it up due to when this stuff starts melting, it's going to end up causing black ice. So we shall see. All right, folks. Let me tell you this. Crescent City Connection Bridge is closed in both directions. All right, so you can't go back and forth over the Crescent City Connection to get to one side, Jefferson Parish, Algiers, or downtown in the CBD area. You can't do it. 510 is currently closed. The highway from Chalmette North is open over the Green Bridge to US 90 to Shep. All right. All right, about 20 minutes after the hour, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll have some more conversation with you in just a few minutes. Y'all hold tight. The last few minutes of the reality check is coming up. So we'll do that. And hopefully you're safe today. I know you're still in shock about this snow, but that's all right. We're going to get you the information next, right here on WBOK.
Trying to grow your business or increase traffic to your location? We can help. WBOK 1230 AM has a number of solutions that will meet your individual needs. Give one of our consultants a call today at 504-582-9420 or email us at info@wbok1230.com. And remember, an investment with WBOK is an investment in our community. Call today.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Saints of God, it's time for us to tell you the truth. It's time for you to start your 21-day challenge. Don't take another day. Do it right now. Call 504-701-4711. That's the Whole Water Stove, Pastor David Impartan Sr., the host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. This is the water that's designed to change your body, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you look. Why don't you start your 21-day challenge today? For $35, you can start it right now. Call me so we can set up your appointment. 504-701-4711. That's 504-701-4711. Change your water, change your mind.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check. Look.
All right, folks, back at you. Final few minutes here before we get into the sports report for 4 o'clock today. Hoping everybody's doing all right. Hoping that y'all didn't try to get out of here. All right, let's give you some more details on what's open, what's not open. All Kenner City offices will be closed through Wednesday. That is the latest from Jefferson Parish. First Parish Court building will be closed on Wednesday. No more operations is going to resume on Tuesday. On Wednesday. All right, let's go to line 2 here. Who we got? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. I'm trying to figure it out.
Who's that, Mr. Harold?
Los Angeles. Hello?
Hey, Mr. Harold.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here listening to you. The sun is out here, and I think it's about 60-something years. You know,
y'all got sun out there, huh?
Yeah. I'm at my
we got 7 inches of snow on the way.
How's that?
We're right now probably somewhere between 3 to 5 inches with 7 inches on the way. 7 inches of snow.
Well, that's not much. You know, I'm originally from Kansas City.
No. You got to understand something. 7 inches of snow in New Orleans?
Yeah. Well,
we don't get no snow.
Yeah. Well,
people don't know how to navigate that. They have no idea how to navigate no 7 inches of snow. I said, oh boy, we getting ready to really get into it now. But if you're originally from Kansas City, you know how to navigate snow. See, I'm from North Carolina, so I know how to navigate snow. But I've never seen. I've been here 35 years, and I have never seen it snow this much ever.
Yeah, I was surprised. You know, it's snowing in Houston now right now, too.
Yep. They're getting the same thing. They're getting the same thing we're getting.
Yeah, well, maybe they can handle it a little bit better than you can.
Well, Houston gets that type of weather, but I don't think that they can handle it any better. I mean, you saw what happened with Houston probably, a year or two ago when it snowed and they couldn't handle it because it interrupted the power grid.
Yes. I understand. But anyway, we're starting off this year in a negative kind of a situation. On another day, I'll talk to you about what happened yesterday. I watched it. So
you watched it?
Every bit of it.
I got more people telling me they didn't watch it, the inauguration, than are telling me they did, and I didn't know that there was a boycott to not watch it.
Okay, but you know, Mr. Gerard, you have to know what's going on. See, and most
so what
people,
did you see? No, I said, what did you see?
Oh, I saw 3 thugs there that I could identify, and that was the 2 boys from Louisiana, the so-called Speaker of the House, the thug from Texas, the governor, and Scalise, or whatever his name was, that 2 black people saved his life. So anyway, you bring a felon to become president of the United States. So that is something I don't think has ever happened in history.
Nope.
So on another day, I'll talk more about it. And it wasn't about what President Biden didn't do, or Kamala Harris didn't do, but the crap that, and I told you before, when he got his star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I was there. So what I'm saying is, a good number, and especially black people, they don't understand what's going on, and it's the bottom of all of it is racism. That's what it is, and I'll talk about it a little bit later.
Well, no, I want you to talk about a little bit of it today, because I read through a lot of those executive orders that were signed on yesterday right afterwards. I couldn't believe that some of that went out as an executive order. It should be immediate lawsuits toward those actions, but I don't even know if that's going to happen.
Okay, well, things are going to be a lot different than they expect, and that you witness. It's going to be a lot. They say here, a lot of your food comes from here, from California. And They said some of the people that work in those fields have begun not to show up. So, and then to the hotels, some of them are not showing up. See, so you bring a felon, a multi-felon, to become president of the United States, and a rapist, a liar, and you make all of this president. So it's all about racism. That's the total is racism, and you have to understand that. Some people have tainted blood running through their veins, and all they can do is all they're about is being no good. See, and then too, when you think they're talking about, hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got some interference here somewhere. They talk about the different billionaires and whatnot, and I would like to remind them that you have one life, and that if we all get one day at the time. No man is more. If you're a billionaire, you can do more things, but you have a judgment to meet, and I would suggest that you reach up on the shelf, and I've done it before, and get your great grandmother's Bible and see what it says. And it says if you gain the whole world and lose your own soul, what does it profit? See, So we're living in a time that things are going to be different than what you've been accustomed to. And it's, if you just read and understand what is going on, then you will be able to understand things a little bit better. But like I say, I have to be prepared to talk to you about, the things that are going on. So I understand and I saw on television, one general, decorated general, there's a target on his life, and he's hired security to be with him. And they also took down a picture of a military hero off the wall in one of the buildings there in Washington.
That was the same general.
This crap is not going to go like they think it's going to go. It is not. It is not. So you got a number of fools that have come to town, like your boys there in Louisiana, and that nobody gets more time than the other. So, like I'm trying to say, that things are happening, and they're gonna happen. So, like I say, I wasn't prepared to talk to you about it.
Well, how you feel about them saying that they're recalling a lot of the Biden, all those laws that were part of the Biden administration, and he's recalling a lot of them, and pardoning those 1,500 folks that got sentenced for the January 6th riot.
Right. If I'm allowed to do this, to call you back maybe tomorrow, somebody's coming in the door. So.
Oh, I understand. That's good. Well, be safe.
Yeah. For me, life is good, and it should be good for everybody that wants it to be good. So, yeah. But you have to be aware as to what's going on.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
All right. I see you partying. You got all the folks over there at your house. So.
I'm at my 100-year-old aunt's house. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Well, that's fine. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye. All right. Now let's go to line 2. Hello? Hey, it's Gerard. Who's this?
Oh, this is Dr. Sanjikan.
Hey, what you say, Doc? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I didn't expect you to pick up. I thought the producers and folks were going to pick up, but you.
No, we are remote today, so nobody's in the office. We running it remotely.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're doing a very necessary good service. Yeah, we've had 3 to 5 here in Houston, but it's lightened up. We now have sunshine, and it's starting to basically to evaporate. So we have no further snow than we had last night and this morning, actually. But we do have 3 to 5 inches blanketed everywhere, and virtually everything has been shut down. And a lot of things will remain closed through tomorrow. And we knew that whatever we got here was next moving to New Orleans. But I didn't know that you all are still expecting. You already have 3 to 5 on the ground, and you're expecting more.
We already have 3 to 5. It is still snowing here heavily.
Oh, wow.
We've already got 3 to 5, and some places it's saying 6. But we've already got 3 to 5 on the ground. As a matter of fact, I just went on my Facebook page. I went outside for a minute, and I'm from up north, so I was like, oh, I got this. Shoot, I came back inside quick. I've been here too long, Doc. I've been here too long. I'm not used to that.
Well, I'm not used to that either. This is the 3rd time since I've been in Houston. We had the one a couple of years back when we had the power grid failure. And then we had 1 year that it snowed here and New Orleans for Christmas. But it was a very light snow. It wasn't a deep snow or heavy snow, but it was a light snow, and both here in New Orleans and here in Houston, it snowed that year. But this year has been heavier than we've ever seen it. I mean, it's like real snow, kind of the kind of snow that you might get up in a northern city or something like that. But the roads have been shut down, and Houston has not looked like this in a while. But they do have the materials here to address snowy conditions. I mean, they seem to have gotten some appropriate plows. I don't know where they got them from, but they seem to have gotten what they need to reopen Houston relatively fast. But tomorrow will be ice on the roads. I mean, that's what's going to happen as this thing melts down. So we still will be in danger for a couple of days. Right. More people will be out there driving, trying to get around, but it's too dangerous to drive. I mean, it's slippery. It's slippery, and that's what comes after the snow starts to melt. So we're basically grounded out for the next couple of days. Of course, we had prepared for any such eventualities here in this household, and we've done what we were supposed to do to make sure that we're safe. And I think most people here are safe. They're not shocked by getting snow the way that they used to be, where they were shocked because they had not seen snow in such a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. But now nothing surprises us about the change in the weather and the difference in the weather. All of this is climate change, man.
Yeah, I would agree.
Some people don't want to admit that.
Doc, I've been here 35 years, and I've never seen it snow like this.
Hey, man, if Las Vegas would have had some eyes on this, brother, we should have bet.
Yep.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's a new and different phenomenon, and it's a culturally different reaction that you get. But it just makes you more humble, man. For you to realize that we're not in control in this earth.
Nothing.
On this earth, we might be able to influence some things, but we're not in control, and we don't know anymore when the Earth's weather pattern is going to be radically different and change.
Right. I just went on my Facebook page and posted the type of snow. I just went outside and filmed because not only is it just snowing, but the wind's blowing, which is making it blizzard-like.
Oh, yeah, you got that wind blow too. Yeah.
Yeah, that wind is taking it around and it's causing a whiteout.
Yeah.
So I just walked outside my door and just started filming. I couldn't even bear
how you
being out there
home?
in it.
What streets are you going to take?
Huh?
What streets are you going to take to try to get home?
Oh, I'm home. I'm home now.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, technology is something these days. I'm talking to you remotely, and we on the air remotely, and then I got the producer in another location operating everything.
Smart. Okay. Well, what technology can do now? We can operate the whole radio station from home.
Well, all you need is what do you call them things? The Nintendo Switch. That's all you need. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I just never saw it like this, and I said that's climate change.
Yeah.
You would never think that you would get anywhere between 5 to 7 inches in New Orleans.
Yeah. Do you know if it continued east all the way to Mobile?
It's all the way to Mobile. Yes.
Okay, so
because they just showed probably about 30 minutes ago. They just showed the snow on Pensacola's beach.
Oh wow! I got family there. We need to call them. The snow on Pensacola Beach. Yeah, we know that beach. That's where my wife is from.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, they got the snow on Pensacola Beach.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm with you. This is nothing but climate change. So let me get a political conversation with you real quick before I know because you're going to call your folks. Did you get a chance to watch any of that yesterday? Any of the inauguration?
Well, I was selective. I watched part and I boycotted other parts. Yeah, but I was selective. But I did watch parts of it. I refused to watch the actual swearing in, but I listened to one of his monotonic speeches, the one where he was just clearly reading off of the teleprompter and wasn't changing his tone of voice or his inflection at all, but it was just reading. It was rather boring. And then I watched several of the newscast analysis, the one on CNN and the one on MSNBC. And then I watched a couple of local analysis to see what the variety of opinions were about, the speech itself. And then this morning I listened to the executive orders that had been issued. Some of them I knew were coming. Some of them made sense to me. Some of them didn't make sense to me. But they all have been politically calculated before he did them, because they had been prepared even way before the election. The Heritage Foundation had already prepared his first executive orders to be issued on day one. So that's why he was able to get so many of them done yesterday. Those had been predetermined. He didn't have to do anything. They had already done it and reviewed it and gone over it with him and everybody else, and they said, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it."
I was a little concerned about those DEI, those directives to get rid of a lot of DEI.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get rid of DEI and base it all on merit. That's what that merit term is considered to be the antidote to DEI, and that's their theory of the case, is that the job should be based on merit. Now, merit for them means loyalty to Trump. That's what merit means right now. And that's
right. Well, that was my next question about, what would be considered merit if I am the best candidate, whether I'm black, white, or any other nationality.
Loyalty to the MAGA agenda is the first criterion for merit. The issue, normally the word merit would suggest capacity and ability. And that's also what allows those racist institutions to stay in place when it comes to the jobs in the federal government and other places as well. That's how it's done. But it's also loyalty to some political agenda. It's not all how talented or how qualified based on some set of technical skills, but it's also, who are your political loyalties to? And in this case, what they're trying to do is to get rid of all the political appointees. In every administration, when it comes in, there are at least about 2,000 positions that the president can appoint without much opposition. Because that's the way it goes. After every administration, there are about at least 2,000 people who need to resign. So for the new president to have a full range of those political appointees. And there's a list of, who all those people are. And that's the process. It's circulated. And, everybody knows that is what's going to happen. So he was going to liquidate those political appointees, who were Biden appointees. He was going to liquidate them anyway. That was coming. It didn't matter who those people were. They were gone. And they all knew that, if Trump was elected, that they would resign. They already knew that, and they've been preparing for that one. So that one didn't surprise me very much. It didn't surprise anybody else. But hearing the ones about McKinley, people need to check out who McKinley is before they think that he was some great.
So that was an Obama administration change of that McKinley monument. So when I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't this back during the Obama administration when he said no more of the slave owners or racists?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. McKinley's record is not the greatest in terms of us. I mean, that's what that was all about, and he's considered to be at least one of the four presidents who was to the far right on these sets of questions. These and other questions related to discriminatory practices and positions.
Right, very discriminatory practices. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Barack knew what he was doing, and Trump knew what he was doing. It's plain and simple. He was intending to reverse that to satisfy all those right wingers, and so that's where he went with that. Now the thing about Alaska is the thing that scares me because there's so much natural.
They're gonna mess up the ecosystem.
I'm scared if they go tampering with that, they're gonna be tampering with climate change all over again in a different kind of way, because Alaska has some protected reserves, and there's a whole bunch of glaciers up there. And if you tamper too much, I think, with that environment and have those glaciers to start melting, what it's going to do? It's going to melt right into the sea, and to the lakes. It's just going to change the balance if you do that, because of the millions and millions and millions gallons of water that's packed inside of those glaciers. If you think of volcanoes, something of it when it erupts, you let a glacier from up that way break free. It's a very dangerous outcome, and I think that they're talking about tampering with the natural balance. Now, of course, there are also natural resources that they're talking about with all the trees that are up there and things like that. But I think it's very dangerous to just ignore the balance that the state of Alaska has achieved in managing its own natural resources. I think that's very, very dangerous to just go up there and do that. But I don't think they can do that without state consent. I think they still would have to go through somehow the Alaska legislature, and I don't remember now if that administration is Democrat or Republican. But I know unless there are federal lands that are on the sites that they're talking about, they won't just be able to go and do that. Is to tamper with the oceans and just start drilling in Alaska's lands and all of that. There's a long way they have to go before they do that, but it scares me. It very much scares me because now you're really talking about disruptions of natural environments, and that's dangerous. So that one I was, concerned about. But some of the others I expected to hear from my read of the 2025 project 2025. Some of those, the ones that you read, are expected or were expected. I don't know which others he's got, but certainly the commutation of the sentences of all of those January 6th insurrections is an insult, to all of us.
Yeah, especially those men and women that were in the uniform that got hurt.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that one as well. But we probably champ this up one day this week. We're going to get in there because I know there's more to come. But I got to let you go so you can call your folks, check on your folks down in Pensacola.
Yeah, okay.
Because we're getting ready to wrap this puppy up. And I'd like to give you a couple of more incentives of, what's going to be open and what's going to be closed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, stay on the case, and you're doing a good job. And I got to call a whole bunch of folks now.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all be safe. Y'all be safe too. Don't be out there. Don't be out there trying to build no snowmen either.
Oh no, I'd already done that. I'm done. She done grounded me. She said, "Nope, get out of there."
All right, Doc. I'll talk to you soon. Be safe. Tell the wife I say hello.
Okay. Peace and blessings.
All right. We'll talk soon. Bye bye. All right, y'all. About 10 minutes to the hour. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. Some more conversation in just a few minutes here. I'll give you the few more minutes of what's coming up and what's going to be closed on tomorrow as well. We'll take the break here and we'll come back next right here on WBOK.
Norman Robinson is back.
Can you hear me now?
And he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
I'm Howard Robertson, founder and creator of the Play Ode app. Back in the day, we used to ask, how you living? And that's still a relevant question today. Listening to good stuff helps you live well, like what you hear on the Play Ode app. ODE stands for Our Digital Entertainment, so you enjoy the best radio stations playing the best classic R&B, hip-hop, gospel, smooth jazz, news, sports, and podcasts. And new sounds are coming at you in 2025, so don't wait or hesitate. Download PLAYODE today.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Hey, this is Ro Brown, and the Sports Report is coming up next, right here on WBOK, 1230 AM.
Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look. Who bring the power to the people, partner? Who bring the power to the hood, home? Hey. That's that. Tune into the reality check, look.
All right, folks. Let's see, a few more minutes here. For all of our folks that go to Nunez Community College, they're asking that you operate remotely during this time of this bad weather up until Wednesday, probably Wednesday as well. So more than likely, you'll have to go online and take your classes. For St. Bernard, too, all your public schools and offices will be closed through Wednesday. So public schools and probably governmental offices. A curfew is also in effect as long as icy conditions remain on the roads, and all businesses should be closed. I can't tell them when to close, but they should be closed. And that is also in Lafourche Parish, okay? So just giving you an update as far as what parish is what during the next minutes. All right, so roads between, let's see, La Rose High Rise Bridge and Lafourche Parish also closed. Let's run you through some other parishes as well. Let me give you this about this. Road closings between LA1 between Port Fourchon and Leeville also closed due to the winter weather. So if you're headed that way, ain't no need. They didn't close the roads. So you might as well stay put. And that's pretty much for our truckers as well. LA1, West La Rose Bridge between Oak Street and Avenue E closed due to winter weather. So that's for our truckers too, that's headed down to the Lafourche area. We've got weather that's going to probably go on as far as snow is concerned for the next, I would say at least for the next, I'm going to say just to be careful, 2 hours, at least for the next 2 hours. And the wind is blowing, the snow is still coming down. And then after that, you're going to get into cooler temperatures. Well, you know what? Let's not even say cooler temperatures. Cold is going to be cold, which is going to cause a freezing of the snow. I'm not certain. I will have to check it out from NOLA Ready. Will there be a cleaning of the streets? Will they bring those bulldozers out, those shovels, and start pushing the snow to the side so that vehicles can go through? Even if it does, until we get temperatures that are going to be higher, there's a possibility of black ice. All right. Look, you all be safe. We'll be back on tomorrow to give you some more information. Whatever you do, safely and carefully is the way we want you to do it. I'm glad that y'all checked in today. Let me know that everybody's all right. And for all of our friends that are out of town, if you didn't get a chance to see the snow, you can go on my Facebook page. I posted it. You'll see the video. All right. We will see you on tomorrow. Y'all be safe and be good. Be good to one another, y'all. Get some hot cocoa. We'll see you later.
Yo, turn it up. It's Gerard on the air, spitting truth in the booth. We ain't going nowhere. New Orleans.